Hey, what's up, guys? Damnation here. We're doing Refactor stream part 2. So you guys can see what's changed, if anything, since the last time we looked at it. So here, let me go ahead and I'll do some screen sharing, I guess, so you guys can actually see. I'll not only screen share, but I'll actually put myself on present this time, like I usually forget to fucking do. So there we go. I hit this little hide button because it annoys the crap out of me when that thing's down there. So we'll go in the base and see what I got going on at the moment. I know Neil's in here too. He's also on the test server. So anytime you want to chime in, Neil, feel free to.
Sure. Just give me a second.
So right now in my base, I got an onslaught, a siren, a curator that's actually currently decked out with siege cannons, warden that's currently decked out with M missiles, and a high guard warden that is currently decked out with 2 XQ mortars. I don't know. We're kind of in a situation a little bit similar to last time, I think, where Conqueror hulls are still just overpowered, period. I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to run as many defenders as I can just to see what's going on that side of things. Like, I'm not that guy who I want to, oh, this is what works best. I'm gonna stack my base with it, because that doesn't make for good testing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing right now. Is they figured out the combination on the old chips that works, and then they're just driving through your base with it. So.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much the same on the defense side. You know, they find out, okay, this is what's unbeatable, and nobody's going to get into my base, so this is what I'm going to run. And right now, as before, it tends to be the Conqueror hulls as opposed to the Defender hulls. So, as far as ship stats, I don't think a whole lot has changed. Yeah, we're still at the 3.8 million. You know, we still got the much lower deflections. So yeah, that's all the same as before. Turret wise, we've started to figure out some things that can break deflection. Like, for example, Executioner 2s, you put your appropriate specials on and you get use the penetrating faction, and you can actually get up to 702,000 damage, but that's divided by 3 salvos, so that's what, 233,000 damage per salvo roughly. Then you divide that by 2, so you're looking at 116,000 per salvo. It's not real easy to get penetrating deflection up to 116,000 at the moment. I think the only ones that can do it easily is probably MCXs, or not, yeah, MCXs. MSC.
Yeah.
I like what did a time travel back in time there for a second.
Yep. So what about that special? You got that incorporated on these as well?
Yeah, it's back here on, I believe it's this warehouse.
Okay, so not just the faction, but it entails.
Yeah, it's got the fire. I got fire support too, and then this one, which actually adds a little bit less than what the faction does, but still 15% is good.
Yeah. Cool.
And as always, we know that 702,000 number that's actually displayed on the turret probably isn't actually correct. I could go through and do the basic and do all the real math for it, but I don't want to bore everybody to death by doing that. So,
what about deflections? I see they actually got a little something this time
on the turrets.
Yeah.
Well, that's from all my overlays that I have around. You know, so for example, let's see.
We'll see a turret out away from everything.
Here I have the radiation suppression thing, which gives 10,000 radioactive deflection. Here I have the chromium overlay, which is 21,000 corrosive deflection. There's still some stuff that they haven't gone back and fixed yet, though. Like combined defense is still given building defenses. But I don't know if that's actually doing anything at the moment or not.
Okay, what about a turret that's not under influence?
I don't have nothing. There you can see defenses, stun resistance plus 50%. That's all it's got.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can't say I'm too happy about that,
Well, I mean, I've
but I don't
passed.
know how things.
I mean, I've mentioned that to Chris. Whether Chris, passed it up or not, I don't know. I mean, all I can do is mention it to people, and tell people about it.
That's why I was looking. I was curious because that's been one of my big peeves. But I don't know how buildings are dropping now. We haven't
Yeah.
seen anything happen just yet.
I'll pop here shortly, but they're about the same as what they were before. But then again, I haven't really put any armor on my turrets either. So
It was power gone up to where you can on turrets.
currently no, I don't think so. I think the power on the turrets is still the same. Yeah. See, I have being all decked out with specials. I really have no room to put any armor on there.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of my big qualms. They took pretty much half the defense away of turrets, but they give the turret defense to the ships.
All right.
On the hull itself without
using. Well, and while that is on there, I'm not 100% sure that's working correctly too, because my boats this time around have been getting jacked up by turrets a lot more than what they were before, and I chose not to put any turret defense specials on them this time. So I don't know if that's I'm gonna have to
just have to look at it.
Well, no, I can. What I'll do is I'll pull my fleet in and I'll put a turret defense special on one. I don't think I have turret defense specials on. Let me pull my fleet back in.
I did, but when you take it says 50, but when you take that off, you still got 45.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that 45 is working. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I know it says it is. I know it says it's there, but I'm not sure if it's actually working or not. Dooms, I see you're over in chat. Did you want to invite to the hangout, or are you trying to do stuff on the test server? Because I know you're on here too. So if you want an invite, just say something there in chat, and I'll invite you.
Hey, Doomsday, hello, Doomsday. He's in chat.
Yeah, I know. That's why I just said.
Oh, okay.
Because if he wasn't in chat and watching, it wouldn't take a whole lot of problems. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to be talking to him.
He said he'll holler at you here in a bit.
Yeah, I got it up there.
Okay, cool beans.
Did I recall my fleet? I think I did. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, see, I don't have any turret defense specials on them, so I'm gonna do a little bit of refitting. Oh, what do I pull off though? Probably the vulcanized barrels, I would assume. I guess I'll be going with assault battery. Oh, I know, I'm overweight. Durr. All right, so what else can I change? Take off tactical focus, I guess. I think I'll swap it on 2 of them and leave the other 2 the same. What the hell? Bugs. It was in. I refit a boat, and then I said that it came back in, and so I hit go to dock, and now it's saying docking. So now I got to go out and go back in and see what happens. And there again, just like last stream, guys in chat, if you want to see anything in particular, just say something, and these guys will relay it to me, and we can take a look at it.
I got laid back coming in my base right now.
And it's still saying docking, so let me refresh. Man,
he's figuring out the key to the hitting part of it.
Who is? Who is?
Laid back. Him and one of the guys they've got to figure it out. what ships work best as far as going in, but they have, you know. So what I'm trying to do is figure out what's going to work against them.
No, Conquerors aren't currently not outranging Defenders. They're actually have about the same range at this point, honestly.
He's just freaking killing my fleet. I mean, absolutely killing them.
With Witch Doctors?
Witch Doctors and 2 onslaughts.
Yeah, I would say it's one. I think I know when Laidback hit me, it was 1 Witch Doctor and everything else was onslaughts.
Well, and I think he's got a Reverend now. I think he's running 2 Reverends.
Things do seem to be a bit laggy this evening too.
Are these not exact same builds or something? I guess.
No, all the Revenants are the exact same, but like I said, I want to swap out.
Which tractor you did a while.
Well, that is kind of weird. Oh, I had different modules on. That was why.
Okay. But they're both 500, ain't they? Well, they might be a different faction. That's right.
Let's see. I'm gonna take my drones off. I'll just put a field extinguisher on it just because. All right. So I'm going to go pop my bubble.
How about Splash? Splash still a factor? I mean, are they able to splash you out with the sloths still?
Nobody's really doing anything with sloths right now. Not that I've seen. As you can see, there's like bubbles everywhere. I'll go pop on Realm.
Is that all the weapons causing that damage or the Hippolyte wall? I'm just wondering.
I have no idea, Shane, because I'm doing both at the same time, so I couldn't tell you.
That's what I'm wondering. That was a curiosity question.
No, I'm doing like next to nothing to that onslaught. So we're going to say screw him. UAVs are pretty devastating at the moment, too, if you have the right setup for them. There goes one boat.
I can tell you this: you can put all the best armor you got on there, and it ain't stopping nothing.
On your guard, Neil, you mean?
Now I'm looking at my witch doctor. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing. They're coming in and they just one shot in my guard fleet, and you know, I've got all the, you know, I put every piece of good armor on it I can. So it's not that. I guess the key is to run conqueror hulls in there as your defenders.
Oh, hey, Rom.
You're
welcome. You're welcome. Congratulations. You got to see me fail in your base very horribly, Ron. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. You got that onslaught build going though from you got that same onslaught build going on that everybody else has that makes it almost impossible for revenants to kill.
A laid back just hit me with 2 onslaughts and 3 witch doctors. Just drove through me like, you know, water through a sieve.
I'll be back in just 1 second. I need to go have a little conversation with my dog real quick.
He averaged about 30% damage to each one of his ships, you know.
Right.
And I was running a high guard warden, 2 sirens, a curator, and an onslaught. He just destroyed them all. He'd run them stacked.
Well, that's what I would think. In all honesty, I mean, I would think that the fleets that are currently doing the best in the hitting right now are in game with before the refactor or the witch doctor and the MSC. The MSC still probably has some potential with the outranging, using it as a spotter with sloths, in my opinion, in this setup here. And with the refactor, because the missiles are still causing damage, and so some explosive, you'd be able to do pretty well using the MSC. The Revenant, in my opinion, is just is not a great haul. I haven't gotten it to work in game or in anywhere. So I mean, I know there's certain applications where it was, but I don't think a fleet of them would be any good.
Yeah, one guy hit me with 4 onslaughts and a reverend, and I had all my guard out that time, actually, and I did like 80% to all of his onslaughts and killed his reverend. So
I'm going to interrupt you guys here for a second. Ren, to answer your question, yes, I still think you're better off running Conquerors in your guard. But, however, I'm actually trying to run as many defenders in my guard as possible. That way I can actually properly test them, because it seems like most people are more worried about what works as opposed to what should be working. You know how it is. People find what's broken, then they fill their base up with it, which leads to fucking terrible testing.
yeah, of course. And then if you're trying to ask somebody now, you know, what do you feel like's getting through here? Well, they just laugh at you like, I ain't telling your ass.
So, Ron, do you have a base hitter fleet put together yet? Do you want to come try my base?
Be right back.
Well, somebody's hitting me, so there we go.
All right.
Now, my onslaught is a little bit subpar just from the fact that I don't have the explosive scope, so I don't have the I don't have the extra range that a lot of people do.
Well, in this new scenario, do you really want that? Well, I guess I'm just saying, if you're using mortars, would you really want that to, because ain't you going for more damage now? Which that takes away damage.
I would definitely on the onslaught. I would definitely want the extra range because that's my point ship that everything else remote targets off of.
Okay.
All right, I'll zoom in a little bit here now. Yeah, it's interesting how some people's walls drop like there's nothing there, and other people's walls take a while to drop. I see that the mortars still have that visual glitch because it's actually the high guard warden up here that's firing mortars, but I'm seeing them come in from down here. I don't know if anybody else noticed that or not. Boomerang mortars.
It's because they're that L, right?
No, it's the XQs. Yeah, see, they're coming down and then they're doing like a hook.
Yeah, them mortars are coming from weird directions.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of it just depends on fleet setups. Like, I've been real successful stopping a lot of fleets, but then there's some fleets, some guys have found some kind of magic build that they can get in, and there's not much I can do about it. Like, I don't think replay works on here, but we'll take a look and see because Laid Back actually got in.
How long your bubbles last now?
Playback doesn't work on here, so I still don't think they fixed the bubbles. I think it's like a day or whatever. I mean, if you get totally flattened, why they still don't have them set up to where they pop after 15 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can see right now mine's for 11 hours.
Okay.
So let's go to chat for a little bit and see, is there any particular stuff that you guys want to see as far as statistics on anything or whatever that I can share with you? Because this stream is more about trying to answer your guys' questions and what you want to know as opposed to me sitting here and going through a bunch of crap that you might not even care about.
Does your OP live long? Well, and when it's getting hit?
A wee little bit better, but still not all that great. Something definitely is worth noting, though, that the OP guns actually can have potential to deal damage now. Because like for example, the kinetic motion cannon does 190,000 damage if it hits something. Now, of course, you got to take accuracy, or I mean, whether they actually get hit by it, because this is like a dead dumbfire weapon, so you got to take all that in consideration. And it has a reload time of 15, but they do actually have potential to do stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what killed those fleets so fast, Ren. Do you have any idea what's going on inside your base there that you killed those ships so fast?
It was just a combination of all my, like, not only was like the way he hit me, not only was the onslaught firing at him, the siren was firing at him, and both wardens were firing at him out at the same time. But like I can show you here. Let me show you the battle log from when. Hang on, there we go. But you can see that Laidback got in, and I didn't kill a single one of his ships. So it's all about the magical armor setup at the moment.
Okay. From what I see, Novos, the fire supports still work the same way. They cover a range, but as far as fire support, you're only going to have one applying. You can have more than one, I figure, but
the range on fire support is actually much bigger now, though. It has like a 75 range now.
Oh.
Whereas before it only had like 15 or 20 or something stupid.
30 was what the range on fire support was.
Yeah, so we're at 75 now, and then of course the modified warhead stockpile has a 30 range, just like the fire support did, and that's why I have like it's here, and then all my missile turrets are like piled up right in front of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, like Misty's saying in chat, which you can see by this outer ring, this orange ring here, that like you got the whole kit and caboodle covered, you know.
Okay, well, I mean that's a bonus. The range, the 75 range. That way, you can, like you said, it covers your whole island with just the one.
Although that orange ring can't be 75 range.
Well,
that's the only
range out on your warden, your high guard warden there.
But that's the only two things. Well, but that's the only two things I have on this is the 75 range and the 30 range. But that can't be 75. There's no way.
Well, extend the range out on your warden and see how far.
I'm doing that.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm a little behind. I'm watching the.
Yeah, you should probably watch the hangout as opposed to watching the stream. Gives you better read time. Well, that's 72. I guess maybe that is 75 then. Anyway.
Okay.
So, any other questions from chat? No, Ren, you don't need to do unnatural weapon selections anymore to get to the actual proper deflection numbers, I don't think. Because as you can see, hang on, let me find something here. I'll just use this for example, even though it's not properly built. But as you can see, like weapons are only adding like 2.6 thousand deflection at this point. So yeah, their weapons aren't really adding any significant amount of deflection, in my opinion. So even if you would try to do the clown car thing, you know, running 2 of this weapon and 2 of that weapon and 2 of this one, you're only going to come up with like an extra, like, you know, a little bit over 5,000 deflection.
I'm sure we wished we all could have some of that gold.
yeah, I would be happy with 1% of that gold. Yeah. Multiple times I've tried to take screenshots of how much gold I had, and then after the test server tried to send in a ticket saying, "Hey, where'd all my gold go?" But you know, it didn't work out. You know, so I think they're probably way onto that shit. No, fire. You must have just joined us. We just got done talking about how Fire Support 2 does not stack anymore. You only get a bonus of 1, but it has a much bigger range. The interesting thing, though, too, is it used to do 15%, and now it only does 10%. So it's like they're taking away the generic stacks, and they're giving us damage-specific stacks now at this point, so they can micromanage things a little bit more. Is the impression I'm getting from it.
Has any of the reloads of base weapons been changed? Like to make them fire quicker since we're losing like 50% of our reload rate?
I don't think so. From from what I'm thinking, I think that all the reloads have actually gone up some. Because like then, well, Howie's a great example. It used to be 0.5, right?
Yeah. But
Now
that's
it's
not one.
now it's 1.5.
Okay. What about a mortar? I'm thinking that was usually, I can go look and see what they are
I
currently.
don't have any. I don't have any
Oh,
orders at the
okay.
base.
So you don't have any of the cold snaps or anything?
I have one cold snap that's down here, not affected by anything. Let's see.
Okay.
It has a 15-second reload.
Okay, I'm having to load back up. Hands fell off the wheel, but I think that's what it was to begin with. I'm fixing.
I don't know. 15 seconds seems pretty long.
Yeah, especially when you take 62% of my reload away off of her.
No Phobos. I do try to. I honestly, I do think you need multiple damage types in your guard. I've always tried to do that because if you go all one damage type and say I go all explosive and somebody who hits me who's running onslaughts, I'm probably going to do dick all to them because that's what they're really strong against.
Okay, cold snaps was 9 seconds reload.
Cold snap was 9 seconds reload.
Yes.
So there you go. And yeah, Ren pointed out I do have 161% there, but that's why I'm hovering over just the blueprint of the turret itself. The reload gets affected when you're over here. I'm pretty sure it doesn't apply on just when you mouse over the actual thing.
Yeah. So they took away the reload from the fire supports, but they made the weapon reload longer.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That does aggravate me.
Yeah, so it definitely seems like most of the turrets have had their reload increased for sure. Which I wonder if that's why it's seeming like turrets aren't hardly doing any damage because they're only firing a third of the time as what they fired before.
Let's see. The UAV was 8 seconds at the current time.
Let's see. Let me find the UAV. That's not really under the effect. Well, I got this UAV here. Reload 8.2.
Okay, so it didn't change that much.
And the times you're giving her, even if the specials are affecting just me mousing over the weapons where it displays reload there, like you're giving me the same number that would have all the stuff affected by the same specials.
Yeah, I'm sure you're running a belt on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure our turrets are running almost all the same specials.
At least the reload anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got on? What's the Axiom reload time?
Axiom, I do not. Oh yeah, I do. Let me see. I still got one. Let's see. 20 seconds on an Axiom.
Okay.
And it's
yeah, see,
4,900.
That's actually at 11.9 right now, and I'm sure you have the reloader thing on that too. Right?
No, not on this one. Or yeah, not on this one. This is on my gate.
You don't have the you don't. Do you have one that's not on the gate that has the concussives?
No, I replaced that with Javs.
Well, I think I might have one that's down here on my gate too. Unless that might be an Axiom one. Yeah, that's an Axiom one.
Okay. Yeah, I run an Axiom with the Gargoyle 3, so that's how I got mine to fit.
Yeah, I probably should have done that. That's a good call there, Ninja Penguin. I could just look at the actual blueprints and the limited part. Oops. I hope if I hit limited. All right, so go in your Intel lab on the limited stuff, Shane.
Okay, so
as far as base weapons, and we'll just go through and compare all the reload times.
Good.
Yeah, cold snap was 15. So like I said, yeah, when I'm mousing over, it doesn't show the specials.
Yeah, and this one, 9-second reload for the cold snap.
Yeah, so cold snap's gone up. Let's see, catastrophic mortar.
Currently, it is 15-second reload time.
Okay, catastrophic mortar has gone down to 3.
3 seconds?
Yeah, 3 seconds.
You sure it's not the 3 salvo?
I'm 100% sure. I know how to read a blueprint.
Oh, 3 and 3. Okay. What else?
Let's see. Let's look at the cryo adder strike.
Alrighty. Yeah, where you at? That's the regular adder.
Should be right beside the regular adder.
I know I got them. I got 4 of them in my base. Oh, it's way to freak up here. I've got 5-second reload time.
Yeah, so it's at 9.2. Drax Scattergun 2.
That one is 6-second reload time.
That one's close to the same. It's at 7 seconds.
Okay.
I guess do Serbs because they're right here in the same area. That has a reload time of 5.2 now.
That's gargoyle. Okay, I don't have any of the Serbs 4.
Just click your show me shit I don't have thing.
Yeah.
Or can you not do
Well, I
that?
got to do that on a turret here.
All right.
But let's see. Sir,
it definitely seems,
yeah. 4.5.
All right, and what I say is 5.2, so they've gone up a little bit. So it seems like most turrets have gone up a little bit as far as their reload, except the catastrophic mortar seems to have gone way down, but does shit all for damage, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just curious. I'm going to go out to the map here and scroll around a little bit and see how much actually activity is going on. I know there's some people that I have not seen leave their base at all at this point. So it's like, well, if you're not going to go out and actually do anything, I'm not sure why you're even on here. Why is there a level 57 in here?
Yeah, I know. I seen that. And a 75.
Well, is the 75 one of the devs, though?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're going to be on here and do testing, that's fine, but actually do testing, you know, like sitting in your base just crunching numbers the whole time really is not doing much of anything, because you actually have to get out there and see if those numbers actually end up being what you say they're going to do, you know?
Yeah, I just hit 50 shades to see. I refit a couple onslaughts to see if I got that right, but I don't have that right either because they died like.
Take a look in on. Looks like you're getting hit by rum right now.
Yeah, I don't have a guard in, so.
Oh, well, there you go. Rum, what are you doing hitting somebody that doesn't have a guard in? That doesn't make for good testing.
Let's see what the base does to the ships anyway.
Yeah, we can see what turrets do, so go ahead, keep going. It's funny though, because since I know Rum is watching, I can give him shit over the YouTube. I'd send you the link, Rum, and you could get on the Hangout too. You pulled out, yeah, that's what she said. I'd give you the link for the Hangout so you could jump on here with us, Rum. But I don't have you on Facebook. If you want to send me a message on Facebook, I'll send you the link and you can get on here.
Yeah, please do.
So, Ren, how long you reckon it'll be till you come back? Well, yeah, Laredo's always in here. All the mods are always get in. That's one of the perks of them being mods. For all the crap they have to put up that we give them, they get to be in the test servers all the time. I'm gonna stop screen for just a second. I need to check something on Facebook.
Just gonna lone wolf it for a little bit, Ren. See how things go. Yeah. Yeah, I quit for my 7 months, but can you really say that I walked away whenever I was still going and staying with the shows and still communicate with all my friends that were still playing, but I wasn't logging in?
Yeah, that's how you can tell, like, if somebody's has quit or they've just kind of quit, because if they still keep coming on the shows and doing all that stuff, you know they haven't quit at that point. They're just like angry at the moment, you know.
Yeah,
that's my opinion on the matter.
For me, yeah, definitely, I got very angry, but in the same point, man, it's really hard to walk away from this environment, this world that has grown to what it is, you know. For me, it is. So, yeah, I came back.
Thank God I don't have my midget porn open on any of my tabs that I'm accidentally end up screen sharing that. Rum's jumping on the Hangout, so he should be here in a minute, and then you guys can coordinate him hitting your base and whatnot.
Pick me. Oh.
See you, Ren. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Rum.
Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Hey.
Not bad. What's up?
See you, Ren. Not too much. I figured if you were going to be, since you were on the test server and you were hitting people, just get you on here and be much easier to coordinate everything.
Yeah, it is. The timing was off. I had pulled out by the time you said that. It's like, well, okay.
Oh, we were going to work with it either way, because we were like, well, if he still goes, we can at least see what turrets by themselves do to fleets, you know?
Well, that's kind of what I was looking for. I mean, you know, if my guard boats aren't in there, the base is a walk in the park. And that's not really what I want to see.
Well, and we were discussing that too. Well, I'm sure you heard that we were talking about how the reloads for a lot of the turrets has gone up, like, and some of them significantly. Yeah. So I'm wondering if that has a lot to do with why we're seeing bases do a lot less damage too.
I don't know. I mean, you know, hitting the bases so far has been okay. I'm enjoying having my base hit because I haven't changed anything on the turret yet. The only thing I did was put in that extra onslaught, and now I've changed the position on it, so I don't think you're going to be able to run behind the base, because what I want to do is keep the 3 wardens firing at you at all time. And the way I had it set up, I couldn't do that because I didn't have anything back behind the center island.
Right.
So now, once I get my guard set, then I want to go in and play with the turrets and do them in groups of 4 so we can get a better idea.
Right. Kind of like I have done the missiles now that my missiles are set up like all four together, and they are by the warehouse that has fire support 2 on them, and the new special for the missiles and whatnot. So,
Well, I'm kind of wanting to flesh something out, and I don't know how to do it because honestly, I've been not doing much with the game.
right.
I mean, I've been around. I've been really pissed off because I didn't like the direction it was going. You didn't know what to build, but they wanted you to build because they need money. Blah 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 blah.
Well, and that's why like I've been sticking to just the things I know aren't going to change no matter what. Like for example, like okay, even though we haven't seen the SSRB section for the Apollos, you know what kind of damage it's going to be putting out. You know what kind of weapons you're going to want to put on it. For the most part, probably at least like what engine you want to go with, and at least 1 or 2 of your specials, and then you just flush out the rest of it whenever you see the target. That's what I was saying in Discord the other day. I build for the silo, and then I fine tune for the target.
Right. Now, see right here with your ECMs out front like that, don't you think somebody could come in and blast you away with morts?
Probably so. Now, nobody's using morts in here, though, so that's why I switched all this.
See, I haven't even gotten close to... I just hit the reach 50.
Yeah, and I just moved an extra warehouse out there just so I can do that.
If I'd have been watching, I'd have pulled out, healed, and come back in before that. But like I say, even if somebody's got morts out there, they could be taking out those turrets and doing damage on your guard fleet as well. Of course, that's going to put them closer to the 50%.
Well, one more warehouse out there.
Cure it, yeah.
Probably do that. We've had to get our support on our other ones. That's why this is like it is.
That's all the health I'm going to get back on those.
You talking about morts from the ships or morts from the bases there, Misty, in chat? She said projectile seems to be slower on morts.
It does. I thought it was too. My mortars were.
Have they done anything with specials in that, or did they just change the speeds on the projectiles?
I'm thinking that they might have changed the speed on the projectiles because I know, like, for example, high explosive shells, the big one still has 100% or whatever it used to have.
Okay, so, all right. Then they just...
Now we can take a look. We can take a look at that after I'm done screen sharing this hit, too.
Cool. Yeah, because I was looking at that just the other day, and I noticed that I think the 2QX had like a 658, but that one assault mortar that they don't let you put on the defensive ships has a 750 projectile.
Yeah, that really annoys me that you can't put that mortar on Conquerors.
On defenders?
Well, yeah, on defenders. Sorry, you're right. That's what I meant to say. Because that's where you should be able to put the assault mortars because you're building your defenders to try to kill attacking ships. So you want assault mortars because they're the ones that deal the most damage to ships. That ever since that first came out, it has not made sense to me. Just like the fact that you couldn't put splash reduction armor on your guard has never made sense to me.
Yeah.
I just put that MSC in there with that regenerator on it. That seems to help.
Yeah, it is. It's drawing down what I've got.
Yeah.
I'm only down to the one boat, so I mean, obviously, I should have pulled out when I was thinking about it, but it was just too close.
Yeah, it's always a bummer when you don't pull out when you're thinking about it.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I waited too long. I don't have to push the button in here to talk, do I?
No, you don't.
Yeah, okay. I usually forget about that.
You must be used to TeamSpeak.
I am. See, I'm not even getting any damage on the gate at all.
That ship's holding up pretty well, though. I'm curious if we talk about that armor on that ship. I'm running all the good stuff on mine.
Hey, somebody's hitting my base now.
3 and a
All
2,
right.
3 and a 2, and a 2.
Let's take a look at the projectile speeds on the mortars, since we were talking about that. Let's see. Blueprints.
Somebody needs to tell this Blackheart guy to change his name.
Which one? There's a couple of them that haven't changed their name.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be fun trying to find this particular weapon in this whole fucking mess of shit.
Well, use your shipyard. You can
There,
read mortars specifically.
2XQ mort. What's the reload time in the game currently?
Give me a second.
Or sorry, not reload time, projectile speed. Holy crap. Projectile speed is 93 right now.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that was 650 before, but let me get the game loaded up here.
Yeah, that's what we're checking, Misty. But Shane said he thinks it was like 658 or something.
You know, one thing that needs to happen in here is when you're hitting somebody else's base, this is going to sound ticky-tacky, but your base shouldn't be able to be attacked because you can't learn anything since replay doesn't work. And conversely, if your base is being attacked, you shouldn't be able to attack anybody.
Dude, you know how much programming they would have to change just to do that for the test server? It wouldn't be worth the time.
Okay, so maybe what we ought to do is if we're hitting somebody is put a guard fleet on.
I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at over damage.
Well,
The projectile speed is 93 on a 2QX.
okay, so projectile speed hasn't changed then. So there you go. Projectile speed has not changed on the 2XQ mortar. I wonder,
If they're running that kinetic thing on their base or something, maybe.
No, nobody's. I'm pretty sure nobody's doing that. Let me look on the blueprint of the actual hulls though and see. I don't think they gave any kind of projectile speed buff. I don't like the warden or anything. Well, yeah, 100. Look and see on the warden what kind of projectile speed it gives, because the regular warden right now is giving 125% projectile speed
On stock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On a warden, projectile speed. 125.
Yeah, so that hasn't changed. How about on the high guard warden? That's also 125 here.
Yep. That's what I got in game still.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Look at specials. Oh.
You want to come hit my base, Misty, if I pop? I'm going to go pop here on Doomsday.
Somebody's hitting him right now.
No, not that I see.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. TSM's getting hit by Doomsday.
Oh. Oh, shit. I'll have to go screen share that after I pop. Just to see how he does. I'm going to try to find it. Oh, well, never mind. I guess I'll be screen sharing my base being attacked. Oh, I'm getting hit by a fleet of onslaughts. Now, here's a silly question that I'm going to ask some of you guys who are in the preview servers. Does it seem to you that when your drones are getting destroyed, they're dealing damage to you?
I don't
If you're
have.
using the Haymaker drones?
I don't have anything with drones in it right now.
Because I swear to God that when my drones get blown up, it seems like they're damaging my own fleet.
They should.
They should.
Yes. Because
they're supposed to damage your own boats?
Yes.
Huh, because I never noticed that before.
Yeah. That's how you drain. That's how you take the health out of somebody's base is you hit them and you get them to release it. Each time they release it, they lose health.
No, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying, Ross.
Oh, well,
it's not
an explosion. No.
The explosion seems to be damaging my own ships.
Well, I'm just thinking the death at the same time as they explode, they launch one. So your health would go down at that point. Anyway.
Oh, no. I'm talking about when they explode, because I've definitely seen like big, huge chunks of my health coming off of my fleet, and I have no idea what's doing it, except for the fact that every time I've seen it, my drones are getting exploded in my own proximity.
All right. Hey, that'd be something to check out. I guess what's the explosive damage on a drone?
Let me look. I don't know. I might have to try to find some. I don't know if I currently have that on any of my boats at the moment.
Yeah, I think you just took it off.
Let me do a little island. No, I think I have it on one of my missile storm cruisers still. Explosion damage, 150,000.
Okay.
So that should, I mean, it say explosive deflection was 80,000. That knocked 70,000 off if it died.
I'm sorry, what's that?
If say the ship had that it's hitting had 80,000 explosive, it would knock 70,000 off the hull.
Yeah.
Okay. But you seem to see it's happening to your ships. That explosion.
Yeah, that's definitely seeming that way to me.
That's a double-edged sword.
I mean, I could be totally not seeing that correctly, but it seemed very odd.
Yeah. Be nice if the playback was working. You could study it a little better.
I'm assuming that the Doomsday's hit on TSM is well done and over with by now. Sad face. I totally missed it. So let me pop my cords and comms. See if anybody else wants to come hit me. In the meantime, anything in particular anybody else in chat wants to see? Or any of the people here in the Hangout that aren't on there and able to test things that they in particular want to see?
I think you already covered a lot of my questions, so somebody else.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going off the deep end here, and I want to try something. Does anybody remember if the Proto-Nim had retargeting range for missiles, or is it only the Hellstar?
Only the Hellstar.
Hellstar, yeah.
Okay.
Last test server, I actually coined out my proto nem just for something to do and went around and just to see how far we get in any bases. Yeah, I got nowhere.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think about in terms of
Base guard.
no, not necessarily. I want to see something with retargeting on missiles. And I know where I'm going to have to go, but it's just going to be so damn slow.
Retargeting or remote targeting?
Remote targeting, excuse me.
Okay. Because I have remote targeting on my one warden in here that has missiles on it.
Yeah, but I'm wanting to see what they do as a prep. I want to see if you can do anything to it at all.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the remote targeting and the missiles going afterwards. I was going to say you can go out there with the fleet and space your ships out, and then he can come in there with his warden, point off for it, let the missiles get out, and see if it carries on to the next ships and what kind of damage it does. Kind of like in that titanium target, how the remote targeting missiles killed the drones, but firing at them didn't.
Ninja Penguin says he wants to see if the range bonus for penetrating an explosive on the warden has changed. So back to the intel lab, Shane.
Okay. Well, I know my ranges is for them 140% on the stock remote range.
I don't think he's talking about remote range. He's talking about the regular range bonuses.
Okay.
Oh, damn it. Somebody's hitting my base. Hang on. We'll get back to that. I'm getting hit by Banana Boy. Looks like he's looking at me with gluts.
Gluttonies? Okay.
Then he decided gluts was a bad idea.
Got the seawall in there? I'd hope so.
All right, back to looking at these ranges. Watch, I'll open it up and get right there again, and somebody else will hit me. That's how shit rolls. All right, Warden. Penetrating range plus 15%.
Okay. Warden. Penetrating range is 15%.
And mortar range is 22%.
Well, explosive range 21%. But I think that's what it's been.
This one just says mortar range. It doesn't say explosive.
Okay.
Now it has rocket range as a total separate thing, which is plus 12%.
Okay. I don't have differentiations on this blueprint. It's explosive and penetrating.
So you lost range on your mortars, but you picked up a 1% range, or you picked up a 1% range on your mortars, but you lost like 9% on your rockets. Speaking of which, here's something I wanted to actually really point out to people, because I don't know that we did this last time. Let me pop open a shipyard here. I want to show you some stuff on the scopes mainly. Now, a lot of these scopes I don't actually have because I didn't pick them up at the time because they had such a damage reduction as far as how much damage they did. But like, take a look at this. Explosive scope still gives you the plus 9% range, but it used to give you minus 35% to your damage before. Now it only gives you minus 15%. The ballistic scope is minus 15% to your damage and plus 9% to your range. The one I found extremely interesting was the radioactive scope. Now gives you plus 15% damage and plus 9% to your range. And then the penetrative scope is plus 9% range and minus 15% damage.
Okay.
So I really hope that they put these scopes in that event that they have for Thanksgiving. That's supposed to be kind of like a bunch of PvP stuff in there. Because I know a lot of people, myself included, passed on a lot of these scopes because they're like, well, losing 35% damage makes them not worth it. But with them not reducing your damage by that much now, and range really still somewhat being king at the moment, the way that we're looking at things, like those scopes are going to be extremely important. But yeah, I definitely wanted to point that out. That way people know if they're available sometime upcoming soon. You definitely probably want to look into picking those up if you didn't get them before. Hey, Earth, what's going on, buddy? I can send you a hangout link if you want to jump on. All right, get a whole freaking free. We're gonna get a filled up hangout here.
What about the forces? Did they get an increase in damage boost or anything?
I'm not sure. Well, I'll look at that in the shipyard. It's easier to find there. Give me just 1 second, Herp. We're going to go over the forces real quick, and then I'll shoot you a link. All right, so let's see. The radioactive force was... Well, that doesn't seem very forceful, because now it's saying minus 9% range and minus 15% damage.
Okay. In game,
I wonder if they have these backwards. I wonder if the scope is supposed to be at minus 15% damage and minus 9% range, or plus 9% range, and this one's supposed to be the minus 9% range and plus 15% damage. They might have these backwards.
It certainly sounds like on the damage boons and nerfs there.
Let's see, what other forces are there? Penetrative force is minus 9% range and plus 15% damage.
Where the hell? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I mean, these are all standard. It's 9% range up or down with 35% damage. That's pretty standard across all these.
Yeah, so it seems like all those 35% have now got changed to 15%. So that swing isn't quite as impactful as it was before.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna stop screen sharing here for a minute while I shoot Earth an invite. I gotta find him first.
So your thoughts? What are your thoughts over last preview?
Some people have found ways to get in. So I think that's better, because last time people weren't even finding ways to get in.
Okay.
There's still some stuff that I'm seeing that I don't necessarily agree with. Like I still think turrets should maybe be doing a little bit more damage. I don't know. Like I said, there's some that are starting to do some okay damage. Like I'm starting to see some success with missiles. I'm seeing some success with UAVs.
Could you easily make an adjustment so no one could get in?
Could I easily make an adjustment so no one could get in?
Yes.
I don't think I could easily make an adjustment so no one could get in, period. No.
Okay.
Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hello.
What's up, Herb? How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, not bad. Just enjoying having a look at this head fuck.
Okay, so a question here. They want us to use tier 6 and tier 7 hulls just in the test to try to figure anything out. But if you use a tier 6 hull, the weight restriction is so tight you can't put any weapons on it for real.
Now, see, everything I said they mainly only wanted us to test tier 7 hulls. I didn't see anything about wanting us to test tier 6.
Let me read it to you. That way we'll make sure that I'm...
You're probably trying to include like the Hope and the Sloths into that.
Yeah, well, the hype's already quite a big one, really, from what I've seen from the last
On
previous server.
what Mike
with
said,
rockets
your
and stuff like that.
instructions are to get in there and beat up on each other with tier 7 and tier 6 PvP content.
Okay, so they changed that from the last time, because last time they wanted us to solely focus on tier 7.
No, they're wanting 7 and 6. It says, do
Okay.
not try to catalog every stat change. You will be wasting your time. Focus on the feel and the interaction of PvP. And, so far, the interaction feels good. I mean, you're stopping some people, and some people are still walking you the way it always is, but the base seems to be holding up a little bit better. Now, is that the changes they've done to the weapons or the changes they've done to the base? I don't know.
Can we just, sorry, is there any chance you can just bring me up the assault rockets? The CP assault rockets, just quickly.
Well, here, I'll do it in the shipyard. It's easier there. If I can get the right button. Don't be pressuring me, man. I always hit the wrong buttons when people pressure me. So there you go.
Right, so they've gone up to a salvo of 3 with 59k damage.
Basically, what? 20,000?
20,000 a pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the deflection stat now?
2,686.
What do you want to see, Arf?
No, I'm more looking at the deflection stat on.
But there's a reason why you're asking this. What do you want me to build real quick so we can go test it?
Well, I'm just thinking, because what I was thinking is down the lines of if you've got Bold Fist, which has got built-in splash damage reduction of like 40-odd%, something like that. If you put a hyper 30 on that, load it up with wall plating, is rockets and shit going to do absolutely any damage if you put on one of the top tier explosive?
Okay, just tell me a build. I've got the boat. I've got a
boulder
fish right here.
Boulder fish, you said?
Yeah, it's got built. If you go into your defense on it,
I'm looking at it.
In your defense, has it not? Because I know it used to, but has it got splash damage?
Okay, I'm reading the defense.
30%.
No, it doesn't, because that's from the Hyper 30.
Okay.
No,
yes,
it does not.
It used to, though, didn't it?
Well, let's check in game. I can check the lab here.
Because I'm sure it used to. It used to have a splash damage reduction, isn't it? Sure it did. If you're hitting bases, you still get hammered by the rockets.
It depends. It depends on your build.
I don't see splash damage reduction, but I do see just 25% tactical field resistance.
Right. There's a hull. There is a tier 6 hull that's got splash damage. It might be the King's Writ, actually.
Okay, let me go.
Splash damage reduction.
But I know this one.
Yeah, is that 60 or 50? It looks like 60.
60 on the King's Writ, yes.
Right, so if you chucked King's Writ in with splash damage reduction and one of the top tier, just one of the top tier, so
right, I don't think that's going to put your explosive deflection high enough.
Yeah, just put in an explosive deflection, one of the top tier.
Yeah, that puts me at 28.4K.
Yeah.
You can only get so you've got 5,000 extra if you loaded it out with, well, not even that.
But then don't forget you've got splash damage reduction of 72% there, yeah?
Yeah. But I say still going to be getting regular explosive damage is still going to be getting through, because remember that 20k number that we looked at was before adding any specials that buffed it.
Yeah, but 72%, and then you've got a deflection of 25 or 28, whatever it is.
All right.
So you've got 72% reduction. Don't forget, on any damage that's getting kicked out at you.
Oh, no, splash damage, yes.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about direct damage from the rockets that hit you, though.
I don't think you're going to get really direct. It's all dealt by splash mostly, isn't it? So.
And this would definitely be a fast ship.
Oh, hang on. I got a King's Writ that I'll just refit real quick. And then, Rum, you got a rocket ship, I'm sure. So we'll just take a rocket ship against the King's Writ on the water.
So if you stick on thrusters 4 onto your King's Writ.
Yeah, I was already planning on doing that.
Just go for a fully blown, as high as you can get it, splash damage reduction. Right.
Something's not jiving. There we
go. Go Hyper 30, Iron Thrusters 4.
That puts me at 75%.
Yeah. Which puts you, what's that put you up to?
On 1 XR plate, that puts me up to 28k as far as my deflection resistance. Let me take some of this shit off. I'm actually gonna clear my weapons too, because I just want to see survivability. I'm going to put an engine on, though, because I'm not trying to take 5 days to get into combat.
And the Magnus.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I can put war plating on here, too.
Yeah, I think without the war plating, you're all right. So, I mean, you probably want to go... Like base-wise, I'd use this as a fast spotter for something. But I mean, you could put a war plating on that. If you put on an MC3 plate as well.
Well, I thought right now you're mainly testing survivability against rockets.
Yeah.
So let's
we just look at rockets then.
Yeah, let me just put something on here real quick. It's for a weapon. I'll fucking put a thud on.
Okay.
You got an onslaught out there, Rum, ready?
No, I don't. But let me see what I can do. I've got to see if I even have an onslaught with rockets. Yeah, I do.
Okay, is there any way you can?
Hey, you've got an absolute fuck ton of coins, so don't worry about that. Just get your fucking ass sorted with an onslaught with rockets on it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to save these coins and take them into the real game so I can rule the seas for one day.
One whole day, 99,000 coins.
Yeah, a little bit more than that. 997,000. Where am I going?
You don't have my base course?
Well, I don't know. I don't see your boat. Now I've only got one onslaught here.
That's fine. I only have one King's Writ.
Okay.
And I don't even have any weapons on it, so.
Nice.
You're getting a range of his radioactive throwers, too. There you go.
I'm on auto, so.
Yeah, I'm just running around. Yep, it ain't doing diddly to that boat.
And I'm watching comms, and apparently Ewok, when the base next door to you has built a fleet that's so fast it doesn't get hit.
He almost died in my base.
Well, but you don't know if it's the same fleet that he's using now, though.
Yeah, he just hit me before he went over to that other base.
Oh, okay.
So Dan, if you just put a stop on that, if you go outside of the range of your thrower there, Ram, I just want to see if it actually does anything at all. If you're outside of the range of that thrower.
You're gonna have to creep up, Rum, until your rockets are firing on me, but not your thrower.
Yeah, that ain't doing shit. So, I mean, that's one thing that you've got to look at, isn't it? Is that, you've got a King's Rip there, with the onslaught, with those rockets on. You're putting quite a bit of damage onto other ships.
Yeah, I guess one of the key things is how's it going to hold up against other stuff, though.
Right.
Well, exactly. This is what I mean. But if you're going to use it as a spotter and you put certain arms on it, a lot of the damage in bases is going to be splash damage. So you're going to get that mitigated anyway. You're also then looking at putting like a siege battery 4 on there and whatever. You mitigating that turret damage again from it. I mean, to be honest, a lot of the things that I've been looking at with regards to various ship builds and stuff like that has been to do with a little bit of splash damage reduction and just tweaking certain characteristics of the certain ships.
Yeah,
just to get the best out of them.
I guess the next thing you would have to look at if you wanted to really use the King's Rip for anything would be what you can do for as far as against corrosive, or not. Well, corrosive and concussive, because those are probably the other two biggest guard fleet type damages that you will see.
Well, agreed, but again, it all depends on what you're going to use it for. Are you going to use it as a spotter? Various. I mean, this ship, for example, as a spotter versus a ship in your guard with rockets on.
The criticals ain't even hurting it.
It's all kind of.
But my onslaught is probably not a good build.
You got
basically it's got lockdowns on it. It's set up to slow things
down. So you need to test it versus the CT
against
rocket.
That 5-salvo CT rocket.
Yeah.
So after we finally time out, I guess you can go do a refit if you want, and we can do it again.
I've got 1 polonium, 1 lockdown, and 6 L93 CTs on there.
Right. So that's the assault rockets, yeah.
Yes.
That should be doing.
Yeah. So I mean, if you've got, I'm assuming that you've probably got some sort of what's the best way to describe it? Some sort of explosive special? Damage special on there as well.
Probably.
So you've probably got like high explosive 4 or something like that on there.
I think so. Yes.
Which is what 100. That's plus 140% damage plus the 100% damage standard from the onslaught. So I mean that's a fair whack of extra damage coming from that boat, and it's not doing shit. So I mean, what's the stats on the? You get
5 minutes never takes so long when you're waiting for one of these fucking battles to time out.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Thank God it's over.
Woo. Yeah, so you get 85% standard extra explosive damage on the onslaught. I don't know what it is in the. I don't know what it is now in the preview server, but I know currently in game that's what it is. So.
Oh, don't freeze up on me, you piece of shit. There we go. Thank you.
Yep, I've got high explosives 4 on there, and I've got explosive scope and siege reloader. I mean, it's not a great
What's
build.
your total bonus damage on there for explosive?
The total damage I'm reading at the top is 991.
Yeah, total. No, your.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. The bonus explosive
your bonus damage, your explosive
175%.
damage. Yeah, so if you look at that, then so that's over the original 60k without the salvo decrease taken into account, and it's not doing shit to a King's Whip, which means you're out deflecting it because of your splash damage reduction.
All right, so let's see. Concussive deflection is 2k. So you definitely need to do something about the concussive and the corrosive.
On what, the King?
Yeah. Even if you're just going to use it for a spotter, because like I said, that's the two. That's another one. Probably the next big damage type you're going to see in bases, probably.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you chuck on that, and then if you chuck on the MC3 plate as well, which will give you all-round protection against most of the damage types. Yeah.
See, the problem with the MC3 plate, though, is like this is where the turrets actually do come into play, because there's no way that 34k deflection that you're having there is going to stop the Executioner 2 turret.
Yeah.
Because it's doing over 100k a pop now, and that's after you take away for having for turret defense.
Right. Yeah. So
we got the new countermeasures. What kind of deflections do they give?
Executioners can't be shot down, though.
Okay.
So you need to boost your missile deflection. So what weapons? What are the weapons doing now?
The scatter guns, I think, is what's for penetrative. I do believe
it would take all 8 weapons to get a little over 20,000.
Well, now I'm over 20k already.
No, I mean the extra 20,000 is what it would give you.
Oh yeah, so see, that's still only get me up to what's that, 61k?
61.
Yeah, see, so again, the way it's designed is that you're only going to be able to out deflect 2 sets of the 3, no matter what you do with whatever ships. So you're going to have a mix of ships in order to tank certain things at certain points.
But see, that's I know for the tier 7 stuff that hasn't held true though.
Yeah, but as a general rule for like most of the tier 6 stuff, you're not going to be able to because you haven't got enough arm slots. So let's look at that. So there's no real thing that you can do against the Executioners. However, saying that, it's all about you driving and how you're going to tank.
Are you trying to reduce damage down on the King?
So, I mean, you can get. I mean, look at the splash damage reduction we've got there of 75%. So,
yeah,
I mean,
throw a survivor in the corner.
Sorry, mate.
Throw a survivor in the corner. If you're trying to peel off penetrative.
Did that change any in here? The survivors before it was like 2,500 a ship, wasn't it?
Well, I thought it was more like 20k.
Yeah, it was 20k.
20k for one survivor. Let's go take a look.
I'm looking now. Survivor. Special ability.
All right, you're right.
21,000.
Okay.
21,000. My goodness. That would get you up to like 80. So you'd probably only be taking like 20k per executioner at that point. But then, like, for
see,
you would have to worry about were. Because, for example, in my base, you don't have to worry about executioners until you get up to this point.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, personally, what I would do is I would use the King's Writ with. I mean, I've got a specialist fleet purely for taking guards out, but I mean, it's not going to work as good as it used to because obviously it's built through pass through, but and no building damage. But you know, to use the King's Writ as a tank and follow it through with something could quite help you muchly in that base. And then use, you know, you want to use that as a tank versus the ships rather than anything else, don't you? If you've got something with rockets, you know, you want to leapfrog things round so that you can hit bases and use that as a tank, sit it in front, you know, sit the rest of your ships behind, killing whatever it is that's firing. So someone's that sat there with, you know, if they've got mortars coming in from sloths or whatever, and you know, you use that, just scoot it up in front, sat in front of a load of rockets, and you're killing something from behind it. It's all a case of strategizing and just working stuff to your advantage.
No, I mean, obviously, if you need to give health to something, you could use one of the CICs tagged in right behind the King's Writ, you know, within 100 range. And if it's the only one there, you're just going to keep pumping it full of health. And then you can throw your two sloths out there to pound on something, and then throw your survivor in the corner so you're not taking any pin damage if that's what you're worried about.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a case of just working your magic with everything. So, you know, there's plenty of ways I'm sure that you'll be able to do it. You know, using that in order to kind of just even if you just use that ship purely for tanking versus like an onslaught in someone's guard, you know, and you've got the rest of your fleet behind it, and it's just taking all of the flak whilst you're destroying it with the rest of your fleet. You know, it's it's becoming a game of tactics again. You know, where we used to use like instead of having a Spectre with all of the cloak on it and all of the, you know, all of the stealth, we used to have it so lit up like a Christmas tree, so we could use it as a distractor in bases to get everything to fire at it, and then come in behind with another ship in order to take out the guards and various turrets and whatever. You know, it's all the same stuff.
Okay, tell me what the refit was or the build out was on the King's Writ.
So it's iron thrusters for hyper 30.
Okay, hang on. Don't
And
go
you
too fast.
you can add war plating 3 to it, which is I think 10% pop, but
Yeah,
it's not going to make much of a difference.
I was at 82%, I think, by the time I was done.
Yeah, but I think 75 is without, and then you can start putting deflection armors on.
Okay, hang on. Like I say, I'm trying to build this as you tell me, but you keep rambling, I can't get there. So, start off. What weapons do we want to go with?
I mean, to be honest, it was just an idea. I'm just thinking, you know.
Well, no, I'm going to build it. We're going to see. Just tell me what weapons you want to try on it.
Well, you just want something that you can use. You basically just want it to tank, don't you? So it's a case of you want to build it so that it's resistant to to the rockets and mortars, which seems to be the main issue at the minute, with people getting absolutely murdered by stuff.
Okay,
so,
hang on. Unfortunately, it's slow to click and clear. Probably should have just scrapped it and rebuilt it.
Yeah, the ship's going to need to be able to take some damage or deflect it off of you, because the King's Writ right off the bat has a range disadvantage. It didn't get any of the extra.
Well, it has
holes.
It has a severe health disadvantage too.
Yeah, but like you said, if you had that health module back there behind it, you said the range on it's 100.
100, yes.
So I mean, it can sit outside the channel and he can drive within that ring, kind of like I used to drive my Reapers within the
Right.
ECM destroyers ring.
Yep, exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
was sitting here thinking. Okay, how many plates
Yeah,
of war
but-
plating 3 do you want on there?
Sorry, mate. I would just put on a XR3 plate. I wouldn't bother with the heavy plating, because if I'm doing the mental math right, the rockets shouldn't be able to go past the deflection minus the splash reduction.
So you don't want any war plating on there.
I don't think my viewers are very interested in the King's Red thing because we've lost 12 viewers since we started talking about it.
Well, yeah, but it's just little things, though, isn't it? Just things like, you're talking about some tier 6 holes are going to become more viable again, purely
For
by
now.
yeah.
I was gonna say I know my understanding is that they still haven't fully went through and done all the readjustments to the tier 6 stuff yet. That had been my understanding. So
I was kind of surprised that he said the 21,000 pin deflection was still on the Survivor when everything's been reduced down like it has been. Myself.
It was said though that that tier 6 holes would be getting a significant boost, and some of the tier 7 stuff would be more be nerfed a little bit. So I mean, it could stay like that. I think this is probably an oversight, to be honest.
I was gonna say I haven't seen
splash reduction.
I haven't seen any of the tier 6 stuff buffed at all. I've seen some of it get nerfed. Like, remember how the Kings used to have a really high deflection number against? What was the one that was like had a stupid high deflection number against? Was it penetrative?
I think it was the missile one had like 400,000 deflection. Twin blade.
The twin blade.
I think. Let me go look and make sure.
Well, I know the Kings had like a 400K against something. It might have been ballistics.
Well, let's go look real quick. King's Writ, yes, 400,000 against penetrating. Yes, that was the King's Writ. Yes.
Yeah, and what did it have for ballistic?
310.
Yeah, and explosive.
Explosive was 110.
Yeah, so it's had its deflections nerfed across the board.
Well, it will do, but in relation to the damage that was getting put out and the damage reductions in the turrets now, is probably fairly similar.
Well, I know last time when we looked, turret damages were around 60,000. I'm not sure what they are this time.
Well, like, let's see. Well, like for the Executioner, as I said, once you get all your faction bonuses and all your bonuses you can get on that, you can actually, after having for turret defense, you can still get 100K out of them.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was kind of a base without all the extra add-ons last time. It was like all the base weapons were around 60K. So that's about 115.
Phlogiston 2 is like 100K right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Howie is
Howie is about 25, 30 on
Howie is at 29.
Yeah.
Depth charge is Jesus. What's 246 divided by 7?
It's
60K roughly.
Hmm?
No,
around 30.
No, around like 3.5 or something. They're at 35K, something like that.
Yeah.
No, so it seems like some of these numbers have definitely changed from what they were originally.
this a thrower? Was that
that's 60.
okay?
Now, while it looks like in the game, it didn't look like anything broke deflection except for missiles, and then the UAV turrets. They for some reason they really just did.
Yeah, there's apparently there's some particular thing that you can do with UAVs that really is going to make a difference. I still haven't quite figured that out yet.
Well, currently in game, wasn't concussive like one of the lowest deflections that we were able to work with?
What's your current setup on your UAVs? Just as a
well, I was experimenting with my UAVs. They're nothing like what they originally were because I actually was since they actually do some explosive damage. I was actually trying to see if I buffed the explosive part, what would happen. But originally they were looking like, hang on.
I think there's only 2 specials that really worked with concussive, ain't they?
Well, I put the heavy ballistic shells on for the projectile speed.
So did I.
That's what they were looking like originally.
With the reload on it, what's the reload on it now? Just as a
8.2.
Interesting. Because I mean that's over 50k damage there, plus your bonuses. So it's like 62, 64.
Yeah, but honestly, quite honestly, it seemed like my UAVs weren't doing a whole lot, but I saw other people's UAVs that seemed to be doing a significant amount.
Dropped the salvo by 2 as well. My UAVs have 6 salvo. So that would give it more damage per projectile.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you've got 235 divided by 4.
Yeah, that's like,
so
what, almost 55, 58,000?
Yeah. Plus your 65% concussive damage on top.
Plus the 35% from the transformer.
Yeah, so 396 plus your fire support. Or is that now editing?
I want to say I think fire support actually does fire support cover everything now? Yep. Yeah, I think it gets all the damage types now because before there was 2 damage types that was missing.
Yeah, because corrosive and concussive was never included in the original one.
So they lowered it by 5%, and you can only have 1 now, but that covers everything. So I guess if we're looking for any kind of silver lining in the fire support fiasco, that's the silver lining.
Yeah.
Well, I think it does that now. Let me go look
and
at mine.
I'll be honest, I can see there being, because you've now got that warhead special, haven't you? Which is the other one. If you just flick across to the other one.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying before. I think they're taking away all the generalization, and you have to really niche it in now.
Yeah.
Corrosive was the one thing that was missing. Just the corrosive.
Oh, it did do concussive before?
Yes.
I didn't think
with the what have they done with the cryo adder? Have they taken off the DOT stat on it?
Oh, let's take a look. Nope, still does dot.
What's the dot on it though? 80.
80K, which I'm pretty sure that's what it was before, wasn't it?
No. Currently,
it was
dot max of 800,000.
Okay, gotcha.
400,000. With a 10-second.
Yeah, that's going to kill your King's Whip outright straight away. But I mean, a lot of what you're gonna be worrying about with this is gonna be your turret positioning with regards to where your boats are.
Yeah.
So you want to
And I
be
know that's I'm probably going to have to come up with a whole new base design, which I'm not looking forward to.
well. I mean, because what you're gonna want to do is you want to you know, you want to take opposites. So if you need it, if you've got a boat which is dealing explosive damage, you're going to want a corrosive turret covering it. So where you're getting into range to kill that boat, you need a corrosive turret in order to kill the boat that's going to have like the heavy explosive defense on it. That kind of thing. And I mean, like the cryo adder, especially with that dot damage, it's not going to be affected by stuff like I was saying with like splash damage reduction. Because I mean, you can still get even like on a King's Writ and an Onslaught. I think you can still pretty much get about 60-odd%. I think 68% of splash damage reduction on it with certain builds and stuff like that. So it's kind of that's the sort of thing that you're going to be wanting to look at in your base, defense-wise.
You guys got too much damn theory going on. I'm gonna have to back out because I'm trying to get something built that's going to do what you want to do, but I can't figure out what you guys want built. So
no, yeah, I'm more kind of just spitballing, just ideas.
But
really,
spitballing, we don't have enough time to spitball and not do it. We got to do it and see if it works.
We got 3 days to be on here.
Yeah, but it doesn't cost anything to build it. Tell me what to build, and we'll see. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it doesn't, it doesn't hurt to build it. It's free.
Oh, base is under attack.
Yeah, go ahead and line him out with something, Earth, and let's see what he can throw out there. I think you had hex scans on that a while ago. Isn't that what did the explosive? What you was looking for?
Penetrative, yeah.
Or pin? Okay, yeah.
Oh, here he goes. Ewoks.
I think we were just more theorying it out because, like, once we figured out, okay, it might work for one particular thing, but it's not really going to work for everything. We kind of came to the conclusion it was probably a waste of time to even try it. I think is where we ended up at.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. It's kind of like I was just looking at the idea of the fact that splash damage reduction is probably going to be a major part in a lot of things. You're not always going to be wanting to look at building the deflections massive. You want to be kind of looking at other routes as well.
Well, I
would definitely pick that.
This fleet's all about the speed.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly is.
Oh yeah, he's hardcore in.
Yeah, I think he lost only one ship in that fray so far. Does look like buildings are lasting a little bit better, or definitely lasting better than they were last time I seen this.
Well, I don't think they could have lasted any worse than the last time that we had it.
I don't think so. Looks like
they were down in seconds last time, from what I was seeing. So,
but I mean, I'm not necessarily disappointed with the way my base is done either, because like Ewok's no slouch. So if Ewok's getting through, but he's taking this much damage to his fleet, and me living the life of mediocrity that I do when it comes to base hitting stuff, I personally I'm okay with that. I think that's a good sign in my book.
Well, I mean, your base is definitely still doing damage to his ships. He was healthier than that when he got in there, for sure.
Yeah, again, it's probably more than likely going to be the gargoyle that was doing it, and the executioners when he wasn't stunning them.
Yeah, the Gargoyle, the Executioner, and the UAV seem to be the top turrets at the moment. Which I only have like one Gargoyle in my base, I think.
I mean, you've only got one? Have you got one Cold Snap 2 in there? 2.
I have one. Yes.
1. Yeah. See, because you want to try and what specials have you got on it? Just out of curiosity.
I got Eruption Fire, I got Fuel Tank, and the projectile speed thing.
Have you not thought about using, rather than Eruption Pyre, using Slide Loaders 3? Just from a purely mechanical point of view.
How much more reload does it give?
A lot.
80% more?
Yeah.
That could possibly do. Yeah, that could possibly do, I guess.
That's an effect weapon anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's an effect weapon, yeah. It's just gonna kill the basically it'll, as long as they hit, it'll kill all of the
that stun effect going on.
Yeah. Basically. If you've got the Slide Loader 3 on there, it will basically nullify that stun effect, because it will never be able to come, because the reload on that will basically constantly keep it nullified, the attack field.
Well, I don't know, because your reload on the Cold Snap has gone up to 15 seconds now.
Yeah,
more than one in there for sure. Something to back it up.
So you need staggered, 2 of them staggered, don't you?
It would seem that way, yeah. And that's a big old jump on the reload too. Like I said, losing all the fire support, so you're losing like 50% of the reload right there within that measure too.
Yes, it has the debuff time of 5 seconds, so yeah, 2.7. It's just outside it, isn't it? So, oh, you've got yeah, but you've got duration of 6 seconds, so it should just about, if you've got Slide Loaders 3, still work just about, if you've got fire support with it, just for that reload.
So then do I go, at that point then, do I go with Zithium shells for the extra projectile speed, punch a little splash, punch a little explosive damage, or do I go with Fuel Tank for just the splash and the explosive damage?
You want heavy splash on it, don't you? Because you want to make sure that it's hitting.
Yeah, see, I would think projectile speed too is fairly important, because if they're going super fast, they're just like, even the splash won't reach out far enough.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, you've got that 100 that you're given, so I think you can go with the tank, I would think. Because, I mean, before we were just doing Eruption Fire and that other special, which gave us like, what, 70% something? But now with that one special, you can get a full-on 100.
I'm still not 100% sure if Fuel Tank's a better option than this shells. Because, yeah, I am getting 45% more splash, but if I'm still, as I'm splashing consistently well behind them, it's not going to matter.
What's the splash damage? The splash radius on it? Is it still stupidly low, like 7 or some stupid shit like that?
Splash is 20.
Oh, so you got loads of splash. So yeah, with 20 with the extra 80%, that's 30. So with the 100% projectile speed, so you've got projectile speed of 660 over that range. You'd be better off going with the splash, because it's always going to hit with a 20.
Try it. I'm trying
20 splash, because I thought it was lower than that. I think in game it was like
like the 7 or the 4, yeah.
Well, Shane can tell us. All he has to do is look.
In game, well, I think it's still 20, but yes, 20 splash in game currently with the spread of 80.
Splash.
So
I'm not sure if I have another. Who's a monster? You like my technical terms? Who's a monsters? Yeah, I got one more cold snap. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I almost think I should maybe put it on my back island somewhere.
You want it staggered, don't you? And you want it because obviously when they get round the corner to where your high guard is there, they come in within the minimum range because it's got minimum range of 60 on the cold snap too.
yes.
Yeah. So you want to stagger it so that one's firing all the time.
Yeah, so I would probably have to put it somewhere here in this front line.
What I would do personally is where your ECM is there, I would move that onto the water.
Well,
you know what I mean? Then put one
that's probably. I'm more looking at changes I'm willing to do in live game, and taking 13 days or all those base parts to do is probably not something I'm willing to do in live game.
Oh no, I'm just
Yeah. I get what you're saying, but you get what I'm saying too, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, what weapon would apparently is thinking about placing it there? But
yeah,
if you put that in the water, what other weapon would you feel like changing out to the cold snap?
Well, that's what I mean. No,
I would definitely change out like this guy back here to the cold snap, and then I would just have to figure out where to put the cold snap. You know what I mean?
No, I was thinking just literally for the positioning wise, where your ECM is on that little 1 square of land that you've got there. Is if you look at where you're going to come, they're going to come into minimum range, and where that is, you've got a deadpan part there where it's going to smash it, and you're covering most of your channel with it. That's the only reason I suggested it. And moving your ECM onto the water.
Yeah, I'm just too lazy to do that ECM change is my big problem.
Yeah.
To do that, you know, that because that's like what an entire load of base parts or 13 days or something just to make that AT transformer change.
Yeah. Well, you can put it back there where you did the cold snap, right? Buck put those two elite countermeasures together back there. They can gang up.
Yeah, but then they don't reach anything out to like where it's important.
Well, in the front, yeah.
Okay.
But no, yeah, I was just looking at the only reason that I was saying there is because I was looking at the overlap between the two, and then I was looking at the range across your actual kind of channel.
Yeah, well, it's funny because right now when you click on elite countermeasures, they don't show any kind of range rank.
Right.
So you can't see where they're even covering.
No, but if just out of curiosity, if you chuck that second cold snap back to where your ECM was there, just have a look at the range on that.
Well, like so, this one right here where you're talking about. Yeah.
So you see where the overlap is, where they come into minimum range. You're still firing on it with that one.
All right.
And then also you covered like all of the channel. That's the kind of what I was looking at more than anything. Really.
You know what I probably could do? I could probably free up a land tile back on my island and put
because you don't need it anymore, do you? So
yeah, exactly. I got to figure out where I'd put this guy at that point, though. There.
But I mean, that's what I mean. It's all just kind of, just with that special change on there and loading them up. So you've got two there, so that they're staggered, so that they're hitting individually. You're constantly keeping that charge on there, so that they're not being able to stun your guard fleet on the way through. It's all. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to go because I need to go to sleep. I've got work in the morning, and it is already 3:25, so I've got to go.
Good. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it.
Good night.
No worries. Hope I've given you a couple of things to think about.
Cool. Yeah, hopefully you got to see some things that piqued your interest.
Yeah, no worries. And I'll catch you all later.
Later, sir.
All right.
See you in a bit.
Later,
guys.
dude.
Yeah, Love Angel. I don't know how the floating fortresses and the mighty levies would do in this new arena.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask Fear. Get him back playing Battle Cards. I'm not going back that far back.
G Daddy's not in this test server.
No. How long have we been streaming this thing now?
2 hours.
2 hours. I'll do a little bit more, but then I think I'm going to call it night. I don't know, Ross. You've been kind of quiet. What are you thinking?
I'm just trying to be positive. As far as I know, I just can't see any positives for the change in for me. So I don't. That's why I've just been trying to be quiet on it. I mean, I don't see any pluses over doing this than right now in the game for me.
All right.
Don't really see that much really true change except for having to redo everything.
Correct.
Yeah, that's going to be the negative part about it because they're still talking about a 70% reduction. I guarantee you, with every single turret you're going to have to do and every single boat you're going to have to do, you're looking at months and months of refitting.
I'm not even talking about the refitting. I'm just talking about by design. I don't see any benefit over what's current. I don't see it. So I mean, I don't know.
I do, honestly. I come
Yeah.
closer to swapping stuff to a lot of different stuff than what I had before. And I think a lot of and you gotta realize too, a lot of this has to do with the tier 8 stuff in mind too, because God only knows what tier 8 would have been like if they hadn't done all this that they're doing now.
Still yet to
We
see
probably
it.
would have started seeing deflections in the 5 and 6 million numbers or 8 and 10 million numbers,
I'm just saying, for me, in my opinion, I can stop them now, and I won't stop them in this method. So for me, that will be a change.
Okay. What are we looking at here? Waiting for somebody to come. Well, you're still on a bubble.
No, I'm not bubble. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking.
Well, that was something I was going to say earlier concerning the Hope and the Warden.
Mm-hmm.
I did some stuff to them and everything. The Warden with the explosive scope and the rocket thing, I got 131 range. But the Hope, I actually got 138.
Yeah, the Hope actually has a little bit longer range.
Yeah.
That's something I was going to do. Where the hell is it? I don't even know where my Hope is anymore. There it is. So I'll have to play around with that a little bit too. Oh, I got a message. Hang on a second. Stop screen sharing. So I can go see what my message is. Let's go out and peruse the map for a little while and see what's going on out there. After I turn screen sharing back on. See if anything's going on out here. Bubbles, bubbles everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Oh, here's one.
Have you checked out any of the other Conqueror holes?
As far as
Like the Impact Cruiser. I see other people are running the explosive one. I was just wondering if you did any others besides the Witch Doctor and the Revenant.
I haven't even done Witch Doctors yet. I've only done Ifrits and Revenants at this point.
Okay. Is he driving? Is that you?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching a battle.
Oh, okay. So I was like, I couldn't figure out whose ships were whose for a second.
This is probably going to be close.
Yeah.
All you got to do is make it around that bend. Oh, there you go.
Seems to be holding firm there at his health.
Well, yeah, that's because pretty much all the turrets are dead at this point.
Okay, now they're going, yeah.
See, I don't know. I honestly, at this point, I'm kind of liking things a lot better because they definitely seem to be much closer battles. You know?
Yeah, they're getting there.
Now it'll be interesting to see what they change tomorrow when they push out the changes, because they're doing pretty much like they're doing a survey every day and doing adjustments every day.
Yeah, I kind of got the feeling that's the way they were going to do it because you said they can't change anything while y'all are in here checking it out. They can't do anything on the fly.
Right. I mean, they can do some stuff on the fly, but it's very limited. So what they'll do is they do data pushes every day at 2 p.m. So every day at like basically 5 o'clock my time, we'll see whatever changes they decide to make get pushed out to this.
Okay.
So currently, like in the old days, there usually you'd have a stop sign turret and a long range turret. Are there any stop sign turrets currently?
Gargoyles are definitely a stop sign turret.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't too good a job of hiding this turret behind my outpost because even I have a problem fucking clicking on it now. Yeah, because gargoyles, if you come up on them, they're doing like 100,000 damage per projectile. That's before bust, but then you got to figure you got to half that because of the turret defense. So that's what, 50,000.
Okay.
So you got to have like 50K of concussive deflection not to be able to creep up on them. But like I said, that's before accounting bonuses. So you got to add, another 35% on top of that damage, and then another 65% from that on top of that damage, plus whatever splash you got. So yeah, I think that gargoyles are somewhat of a stop sign turret. I don't know. I think we've covered a good bit of ground. We've been on doing this for like 2 hours or more now, so I think we're gonna call it here.
Cool beans.
Any last minute questions from chat before I call it? Going. Gone. All right, we're out of here. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Laters, peoples.
Good night.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for the show. I'll probably end up doing some live streaming during tomorrow's show too, because there's really not a whole lot to cover in the update stuff. So, all right, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.